जागो दुनिया जागो। ये दुनिया जाग के उंगली ऊपर अब।
Hello and welcome to this CNN IBN special. Hello and welcome. Here we are on the day of 1 billion rising, and the spirit is Jago re Jago, Delhi Jago.
जागो रे जागो दिल्ली जागो, जागो रे जागो इंडिया जागो, एंड जागो रे जागो साउथ एशिया जागो, जागो रे जागो दुनिया जागो। जागो
Jago re Jago. That is the spirit here in Parliament Street. Today it's 1 billion rising day. Today is the day when women across the world are on the streets to raise their voices, to protest, to sing and to dance, to raise their voices against violence against women. There are demonstrations and street plays and performances happening across the world. We are here at the Delhi Centre, here in Parliament Street, where crowds have gathered. There are musical performances going on behind me. There's an exhibition. There are meetings going on. There are all kinds of groups who are represented here who have all come. This is the city of Braveheart. This is the city of that historic protest that led to that historic mobilization, and lots of women's groups are here. Let's cut straight across to Kamla Bhasin, veteran of the Indian women's movement, organizer of this, who's joining us. Kalpana Vishwanathan of Jagori also joining us, and Ranjana Kumari here as well, and a number of other friends as well. Kamla Bhasin, across to you first. What is the significance of the 1 billion rising movement in India?
First of all, we are celebrating the Bravehearts. We are celebrating the women's movement. We are celebrating the unity of women all over the world. Secondly, we are celebrating love. Only when you have hatred in your heart can you do violence. That's why 14th of February, Saint Valentine's Day. And we are saying no more violence against women, no more violence against girls, and not just Delhi, 200 countries and thousands of cities and lakhs of villages are rising and saying enough is enough, no more. And we are launching a new freedom movement. In 1947, India got independence. We women didn't. This is the launch of a new freedom movement.
It's the launch of a new freedom movement, almost the launch of a new phase of the Indian women's movement. Is the Indian women's movement now, which has had a long history, a long tradition, Kalpana Vishwanathan, the Indian women's movement really poised at a new beginning?
I think the Indian women's movement has been saying no to violence for more than 25 years. Today we have a whole load of other voices joining us and saying enough is enough. And I think the women's movement is going to take along all these voices and really, I think, work towards a range of voices being out there saying no more violence, no more oppression, no more silence. We are going to break the silence on all forms of violence.
It's about breaking the silence, Ranjana Kumari. Who knows better than you about breaking the silence? Again, the huge turnout of young women here. So many young women have come in their numbers. What does that tell you about how determined young women are today to make their future safe?
Sagarika, today women of India are saying no more violence. Break the silence against violence. This is what is the message to the nation, to the South Asia, to the whole world. That today is the day when every woman sitting in her home is going to tell all the men and boys, no more violence. We will not tolerate it anymore, and you will not do it anymore. Both ways. It's not just that we will not tolerate, they will not do it anymore. If you will do it, we will not keep quiet. So this is the message of the day.
It's a message to the men, it's a message to the boys. What is the male point of view in this? What do the men think about this unique mobilization of women that is happening in Delhi, across India, across the world? We got a male perspective in from noted film director and actor Farhan Akhtar, who spoke to us, telling us what the responsibility of men should be at a time when there is really like a women's revolution happening in India, out on the streets, out in every city of India, all across the country. Listen to Farhan Akhtar.
As an Indian man, I feel it is important for all of us to be there with women, supporting them and showing them, you know, that that we do care. There's a huge majority of men that are very concerned about this problem as much as they are, and we hope to seek a solution to this problem together. Every single society, whether it's artistic or it's commercial, needs to introspect. I'm a part of the film industry, and I feel that it's important for all of us to introspect and see what it is that we could do differently, you know, that could help men in this country to think differently about women.
How the film industry there needs to introspect about violence against women. Kamala Bhasin, you know what is actually shocking has been the scale of violence against women. 1 billion women across the planet will face either beating or rape or torture of some kind. In the 21st century, we're supposed to have made such huge progress, yet violence against women is continuing. It's almost as if there's a backlash against the modern woman.
Yeah. You know, if violence had been only traditional, if patriarchy had been only traditional, we might have got rid of it. Today, this partnership between patriarchy and capitalism, pornography is a billion-dollar industry. Cosmetics is a billion-dollar industry. Barbie doll is a billion-dollar industry. These are new symbols which objectify women, which demean women. You know, we may write thousands of songs which are for equality. One song, like मैं मुर्गी हूँ मुझे खा ले, मुझे अपनी छाती से चिपका ले. Now these are the things which we have to fight, and really we are calling upon men to recognize how patriarchy is violating them, brutalizing them, dehumanizing them.
So extent to which the modern world is actually conspiring against women, is that something that again needs to concern us, that as women are coming out of the home, as they're working, as they're entering the professional world, that's when they're facing these huge obstacles and massive prejudice.
Absolutely. I think the backlash to the number of women out in workspaces, in public places, is leading to a greater amount of violence. We are seeing that in every way. But I think women are not taking it lying down. I think that's the important thing. And there are more men who are coming out in support of women's rights. And I think this is something we need to recognize and highlight. That this is a struggle not just for women, this is a struggle for the whole world. Because if there continues to be violence against women and non-equality, everyone is suffering.
Everyone is suffering. And you know, just today, Ranjana Kumari, we've heard a union minister speak in the most offensive way to a female journalist. The politicians have spoken in such derogatory ways to women, about women. They've called them dented, painted women. All kinds of names have been called on women. Now, we can sing songs here, we can raise our voices, we can have our protests, but how are we going to change these mindsets?
Sagarika, it is deplorable in the way the minister has really used the language against a journalist. I think the whole nation is demanding an apology from him. And of late, we are hearing more and more, and you are rightly saying how we will change. I think they have to re-socialize themselves. Right. And they have to learn there is a language of equality, respect and dignity. That's the language they all will have to learn.
In fact, on politicians, naming and shaming politicians. That's one of the demands of the women's groups here. Let them speak, let them be seen, let them be named and shamed and openly ridiculed when they speak about women in this way. Let's take a short break at this point. As we go into break, let's listen in to Gul Panang, who has also spoken to us about what this day means for her, what will 1 billion rising means for her, as well as to Mallika Sarabhai, who has also organized an Ahmedabad rising of women in Ahmedabad. Let's listen to them as we go into break.
This campaign of 1 billion rising and Indian women partaking in it couldn't have come at a better time. We've all been aware for long about how unsafe women in India are, how crimes against women go unreported, unregistered. It's just that now the media is holding the hand of the common woman and is happy to report these cases, is happy to bring the cause to the forefront.
What 1 billion rising and of course the Delhi gang rape together have done is that for the first time, this very, very important agenda that keeps half of the population in fear constantly is being brought to the table for discussions and change. What we find very often is that young men don't even know that what they do is abusive to women, because very often in the movies, the heroine will fall in the hands of the man who does the same kind of stuff. So we are telling girls to start conversations. We are also asking good men to say, listen, you have to be the ones to tell other men who are committing violence that this is no longer cool. This is not what shows your manhood. This is absolute weakness and cowardice.
This is Face the Nation, broadcasting live from the CNN IBN headquarters in New Delhi with Sagarika Ghosh.
Welcome back. We're coming to you from Parliament Street on the day of 1 billion rising. There is a kind of women's revolution happening here. Today is 1 billion rising. Women across the world are out on the street singing and dancing, raising their voices against violence against women. And what better place to mark 1 billion rising than Delhi, the site of that historic protest when those tragic events happened to Braveheart. Joining us at this moment, Saida Hamid. We're very privileged to have member of the Planning Commission. Kamala Bhasin continue to join us. Kalpana Vishwanathan continue to join us. Sudha Sudharaman continue to join us. Poonam Mutreja joining us. Kavita Krishna Vedwa joining us. Thanks everyone very much indeed for joining us. Saida Hamid, if I could turn to you. You know, what a infectious atmosphere here today. So much of fun, so much of festivity, so much of togetherness. Do you feel that, having been a veteran of the Indian women's movement, that it's great to see this new energy?
It really brings tears to my eyes, because I think it's now the baton has been passed to the younger generation, and I think they are carrying it so much more in an infectiously enthusiastic manner than we could have ever done. And I think that is the power of this movement.
And the way the politicians are speaking, you know, the Union Minister Viola Ravi saying today about that young women journalist, the comments about dented, painted women. Do you feel that in some senses the women's movement has not been able to perhaps change the mindset of these politicians?
I really was thinking when I was coming out here, I'm from the Planning Commission, I would have liked to see all the Planning Commission members and officials who make plans for the country to come pouring out of the Yojana Bhavan onto Parliament Street, but I did not see it.
Jago, jago re jago, India jago, jago re jago, South Asia jago, and jago re jago, Dunia jago.
In Rajasthan, the Chief Secretary gave a chutti for 2 hours for all the officers to go to OBR in Jaipur. We will make a list of rogues and rogues. The rogues and the sick people.
The rogues and the sick people.
Rogue and rogi
in
Hindi
mein. Rogues. Name them and shame them. Kavita Krishnan, does it at all worry you that this movement, the 1 billion rising movement, is perhaps a little too urban? Is it not reaching the rural areas, the small towns where there is so much of violence, so much of torment? Do you worry that the scope may still be limited?
No, I think that it's not just, I don't see it as just one movement. I see it as so many movements. I mean, the entire thing we've seen in Delhi and which has spread across the country for the last couple of months, that is a very remarkable moment, and this is part of that. I see this as being part of that. The energy that you're seeing here is part of that. But one thing I'd like to say is that I also sense that there's this backlash happening which is planned, where you're having this bans on mobile phones, bans on jeans, all kinds of things being, Operation Majnu is being conducted by police, and moral policing gangs being given a free hand, and all of that. And I see it as being part and parcel of this range of politicians' remarks that have come, completely deliberately misogynistic type of remarks, which are I think reacting to this growing fact
that no longer is what the women's movement saying only said by the women's movement. There is this wider mass out there. It has become a people's movement, and people now at large who may not have had exposure to the women's movement are now saying the things which the women's movement has said for the last 30 years. And that is a very, very remarkable thing, which is making a whole lot of people in power very uncomfortable.
The people in power are becoming very uncomfortable. Sudha, do you believe that, it's necessary to involve the men? As Kavita was saying, the conservative backlash is there. The patriarchy is still hitting back. It's roaring back, in a way, as it sees the women talking. Is it necessary to build bridges?
Yes, along with patriarchy, I would definitely say that change has to be social, economic and political. And look at what's happening to 33% women's representation bill, where all of us have been fighting for it for how long? And even now, though it has been passed in the Rajya Sabha, from Rajya Sabha to Lok Sabha is a very short distance, but that distance has not yet been covered. So I do believe that political, social and economic equality is called for, and a change in policy is very much necessary.
And Poonam Mudreja, do more such, to bring that change of policy that Sudha was talking about, do more such events have to happen? Because a number of people are saying, but you all are singing and dancing, what is this going to achieve in the end? Do we need to keep on, in a way, singing and dancing?
Keep at it, but collective action and numbers, whether it's in India or across the world, speak for themselves. And 1 billion women rising, men and women rising, is a huge number. And in India, the voices across the cities will go to other places, and definitely women need agency. And small voices didn't make the impact, as you know, big numbers make today in India.
Right, small voices can make the impact. Saida Hamid, this is the city that saw those historic protests. When Braveheart fought that valiant battle, she fought literally for every inch of her life, and it's almost as if her fight has inspired and galvanized all of us. Were you surprised at Delhi to see this kind of outpouring of young women on the streets, all kinds of people on the street, putting safety of women center of political space, center of the political discourse? It's normally so marginalized. Were you surprised to see that?
I was surprised, but the surprise just lasted a second. And then as the young men and women, they swarmed the streets, I realized that the revolution, the change, the game-changing element is going to happen now. And I feel that this is how revolutions start. They start with some setbacks, some disappointment, some backlashes, but ultimately those people who are sitting ensconced in their offices, they are going to come pouring out, and this great wave that has been unleashed today in a symbolic manner, it's definitely going to have a huge impact, and the end of violence against women is around the corner.
It's around the corner. Umarte 100 crore. That's what's written on my band here. Rise 1 billion.
You asked the question whether it is only city-based. I want to tell you that today, the Narega women in Andhra Pradesh, 1 million of them have risen in the morning to say no to it. In Tamil Nadu, one woman herself has been doing it in 1,000 villages. In Uttar Pradesh, women in the villages are saying, is Odni ka parcham banayenge. We are going to turn our pardas into flags for freedom. So I think it is much bigger in the rural areas, much larger in the villages. In Bangladesh, 25 million people are rising today.
Catch on. It's really going to catch on.
There's one thing though, with all this energy, see, on the streets the movement is alive. And including the movement that started on December 16th, that's 2 months now, and we are still there. And the issue's still there, and you're still there too. But I think we need to tell the government, the 21st, the budget session of Parliament is starting. And I want to say here to everybody who's listening, please join us in large numbers on 21st and 22nd here in the days of Parliament to say that, we want the Justice Verma movement. Right. Yes. Come in actual numbers, with songs, with dance, with all of that. Yeah.
I just want to add, apart from what they have said, that it's very significant that this celebration is on the streets. And we are claiming that really rightfully belongs to us. The streets, the parks, the grounds and markets, all public places rightfully belong to women.
The public spaces have to belong to women. I just want to get a man's perspective in here. Abhijit, you're joining us. Is it very important, you know, that the Justice Verma Commission recommendations, for example, which many have called a kind of Magna Carta of women's rights, a kind of Bill of Rights, a great Bill of Rights for women, do you believe that they should be implemented, or at least the government should make sure that they are in some way put into force, because otherwise this wonderful document will simply gather dust?
I would entirely agree with you. The Justice Verma Committee recommendations are quite landmark, quite path-breaking. However, I would like to also reiterate that the fight has to be from the parliament to the street, to the village, to every home. And as men, I'd like to sort of put in a word here that today there are lots of men here, and I really want to share the fact that over 1,000 villages in India in 10 states, there are men who are joining with women to say that we do not agree to violence against women.
Men
we are
joining. I think they don't agree. We're out of time, unfortunately.
Because this is not women's problem alone.
Right, very quickly, Poonam.
Humanity and men and women are together in this fight.
Maturing of the movement and women's movement, where there are people across caste, gender, class joining in. So I think this is really not only maturing of the women's
movement. It's
movement.
an infectious atmosphere here at Parliament Street. Let's hear the song again. Let's
Delhi jago, jago re jago, India jago,
with images of 1 billion rising across the world. That's it from us. Back to the news.